Good morning. Happy December 22, guys. We are full blown in holiday. Hope y'all are doing awesome. It is doing this in the morning. It is like 65 degrees already. Remember last year it was cold. 2 years ago, we were wrapping our pipes. I had an outdoor shower burst on Christmas Eve. Thank God for my builder. Ran out here and capped it for me. But what a weekend, what a week, what a year. So much going on. We got busy. I ended up doing showings on Saturday before all the football started. And man, we've got a lot of people coming in right after Christmas, in between there and New Year's. You know, everybody kind of goes back to school like mid that next week, the 7th through the 11th. So a lot of people hanging out. So this will not be the last one that I come to you with. I'm going to do a year-end review a little bit next week to come to you. But I'm excited to bring you this one. I hate I'm not in the living room with the Christmas tree, but man, we got people here, kids, like it's game on, right? But we're going to be out there these next couple of days wrapping some things up. So let's get into the numbers. And I've got a big talking point for you that I'm going to talk to you about with some negotiations, some things that came up over the weekend. And I really want to share them with you guys. It'll be some good lasting thoughts going into Christmas holiday, right? So let's see how we're looking going into this week. New listings 22. Again, that's what we want, right? I'm not too shocked. I think there'll be a little bit more next week when we turn it on, just because there's going to be more people in town. I'm strategically not launching like today. I've got one I'm going to launch the day after Christmas. So I'm going to be a part of that because it's going to hit the hot sheet when everybody's kind of done with Christmas, out running around 30A, falling in love with the place. It's pretty good timing. So 22. Pending properties 21. Man, I'm going to tell you, just as a summary for the year, that mid-20s on the pendings is one of the most consistent things in the marketplace that we've seen, no doubt, guys. There's nobody out there that can look at what I've been bringing you and not say that we've had very consistent year on the number of things that we are putting under contract. Would you disagree? Like if you're out having wine, having people over, meeting people in the neighborhood, how's the market? I want you to tell them, listen, we've had fluctuations in the inventory over the year. We had some peak runs, then it kind of leveled off. But the one thing that's been consistent is our area has been writing contracts pretty consistently. Now, that's not the same for every segment of the market, but for the market as a whole, I want you to tell people that, okay? Because it's the truth. We watch Casey every week. It's in the 20s. Don't have to say that, but I would love it. Look at this, closed 31. Has the closings been over the pendings at any time this year? This is called, let's get everything done before Christmas. That's what that is. Everybody that was going to close before the end of the year, they are getting it done last Friday before they go into Christmas because they're on the golf course or doing things, other things this week. There will be some strong finishes still next week, but that is a good indication that everybody's getting everything done. Price changes 23, again, very much down. You guys know that. We've been up in the 50s and 60s for the most part this year. So kind of limping into Christmas with not many people playing the game of let's get some added attention. I do think that changes next week. When I come to you next week, I do think that we'll see a little bit of a spike in listings and a little bit of spike in price changes and a downward trend in pendings because nobody's at work. I don't think the day after Christmas, we're going to be slamming a lot of new contracts on that day. I think it'll rebound again after that. Does that make sense? So let me talk to you about this. So a couple of things that came up this weekend, and I want to stress this. And this is for buyers and sellers really, but it's going to go towards sellers in this talk. But listen, the number one thing that an agent can give you really is, in my opinion, feedback. Right? Like that's the most valuable thing. It's one thing to get showings, but you want to know what's going on with those showings. But here's what I find, and this is from me providing feedback on my from my buyers, or if I'm receiving feedback from my sellers. Feedback is valuable only if it's listened to. Feedback is not to be necessarily argued against. Now, there are some wild feedback out there. I love to give the unfiltered feedback to my sellers so that they can see what I get coming my way sometimes, okay? Because a lot of it, there may be a misinterpretation about the market, about the neighborhood. Those are things we can help with, okay? Like they thought this and we educated them on that. That's good stuff. But what comes into it is like, Feedback is feedback. Regardless of how we feel about it, it's what that person that's looking at your house or valuing it has their opinion on it. And we've got to take notice of it. You know, I shared feedback directly from my buyers on a house not too weeks. I got a response back that was arguing with me. There wasn't anything to argue about. That's how they felt about it. It's how they felt about the home. It wasn't like they thought it was too small. It's hard to argue if they felt that way. Does that make sense? Right? And you just got to be aware that, okay, even though we're this square footage, some people might still think we're small in that range. Okay, got it. Nothing we can do about that. Can't make it bigger. On to the next, right? You don't have to argue. But sellers, sometimes you get feedback and you really need to listen to it. You know, if they've been out there shopping and looking at 8 houses and thought yours might be a little bit more expensive than the other ones they looked at, that's valuable feedback. That's in the trenches. This is what we thought about your home in comparison to others that we looked at, not off of a spreadsheet, not off of MLS. We walked other houses. After doing that exercise, we felt you were a little bit priced high in comparison. That's the feedback you beg for. So let's not hammer those people saying they're crazy. That's their feeling. So if they have that feeling, others may too. Some people may feel like you're too low. You know, you just got to listen to it all. But what I'm saying is, I guess my point of the week is, we so badly want feedback. Let's not rip it down when it finally comes our way, especially something valuable and good feedback from people that are sincerely shopping in the marketplace. So when you get feedback, marketplace, listen to it. Even if it's for just one segment of it, understand that is a real human walking through your property. Not when we price it on there, not your version of it, not what your neighbors say. An active buyer walking the property is the most valuable feedback you can get. Listen to it, okay? Listen, it has been an awesome year. We're not done. Like I said, I'm going to come back to you next week, and I've got so many things we're going to talk about. I'm going to do that throughout January too. There's so many exciting things to talk about. Also, some challenges I'm seeing in the next year. We've got some stuff with beach access and stuff we're going to be talking about. I think it's going to get better, but I'm going to educate you on all that, all my feelings on it. So anyway, we're finishing the year strong, like I thought we would. I think next week we'll see a couple of those spikes, like I said. And more than that, I hope you guys shut it down, lock in, have an amazing Christmas and holiday with your family. We'll be here running around. And if you need us, just throw us a text, not on Christmas Day. But other than that, we're happy to help you. Look forward to doing it. Have a great Christmas.